So now we want to focus on creating custom GPTs. They have structure, they have frameworks, and it's a repeatable thing that you guys are doing often. So this is a ripe area for opportunity to create some of these things. So how do we get started with this? How do we do these things? First of all, definitions. GPTs are a company-specific term. It is OpenAI's like Kleenex and Q-tips. Those are actually not the terms for those products, if you're aware of that, right? Custom GPTs are specific to OpenAI. Google calls them gems. GPT calls them custom GPTs, and Anthropic calls them projects, and I don't think Meta has a name for theirs. But essentially, it is your own version of ChatGPT and Gemini, and it can be tailored and trained with whatever knowledge you want to provide to it by giving it knowledge files. So why this matters? Efficiency and time savings. So when you have to create something, and you guys are probably familiar with this, when you want to do something with ChatGPT, and it's something that you do multiple times, you have to start from scratch essentially. So you have to tell it what information it needs, how it needs to format the stuff, and give you an output and all those things. It can take 10 minutes to get it primed to do that for you. So custom GPTs are your shortcut for that. So efficiency and time savings and enhanced communication, right? Because you're not having to constantly go through and say, I needed this, I need it in this way, here's the information, all this stuff. It's already there and it's already saved for you. So you can specialize the specific versions of these things that you're looking for. So we can have one for the pre-scope, we can have one for the full scope versus the project file and the case study. So they're flexible with how you can focus their knowledge and what they do, but you can also adapt them to do other things as well. The reason why I like to do this is because a lot of times if you give all that information in a custom GPT rather than trying to put it in a thread, especially with the reasoning models, it takes a little bit less time to get an answer back because it's already been primed with the conversation. It's already been primed with all the knowledge. He needs a Kleenex, yeah. And it's already all there, so it's less time getting to the point of actually producing the content. There are three main core components, and we won't talk so much about this one, but the three components of a custom gem or GPT is a system assistant message. So the system assistant message is the instructions that we talked about earlier. It is telling the AI what the persona is, what the goals are, what the objectives are, what the knowledge that it has access to, and how to behave in certain scenarios. And the way that they do this is that they provide a higher weight on the system assistant message versus the prompt. So if you're using a custom GPT, it's going to follow the instructions more than it would follow in your prompt versus, like, so an example of this would be if you're in that CAD GPT we talked about earlier, if you tried to get it to write, a haiku about last night's Giants game, probably is not going to do that, right? Because it has its assistant message that it's giving the priority to. So that's the purpose of that. It's behind the scenes. You usually don't see it, and it gives more weight to that. Knowledge documents is pretty self-explanatory. That is the files that you provide to it so it can have its knowledge and what it should pull from. And then the tools, this is more so on the developer side of things because you have some application of tools in your custom GPTs. If you look at this, they're called actions. Right down here at the bottom, create a new action. It's not really user-friendly now to connect it like that, but they're working to make that more simple. Essentially, the tools are the MCPs. These are the third of the three components of any type of custom gem or component that you make. This goes for both in-platform using Gemini and ChatGPT, as well as external platforms like N8N, which I showed you earlier. If you're building any type of agent or custom AI tool, these are the three things that you're going to need to put in place almost every single time.